Morning. Couple things going on this morning. I'm packing to get ready for the No Name Nationals, getting the camper ready. But while I can, I know I talked about this gap before. It looks like about a 3/8 gap at the top. It goes down to, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 inch, a little less at the bottom. What I've done is I got this block of wood. I've got 3 bolts. I'm going to put it through there. I'm going to tighten it up, make like a clamp, and put this thing in the sun with a little pressure on it. Not a lot. I don't want to squeeze it, because I think those guys who put the windshield in pushed as hard as they possibly could. But I'm going to put a little pressure, and with the sunlight, I'm hoping it'll just move just enough to close that gap so I can put the trim on. So I'm not sure if you could see it past my Rube Goldberg wrench holder there. So I had to hold the nut and screw the screw from the outside. But that gap closed from maybe 3/8 down to about 1/8 of an inch now. I didn't want to go much further since I'm only squeezing it in one spot. I wasn't able to get the holes to line up for the other 2 spots. Plus that piece that it's pulling on is pretty flimsy. As you go down further, you can bend it with your hand. Right here, it's flexible, but up at the top where the weld is, it's probably the stiffest. So I'm just going to let it sit there for the day, or maybe even a week while I'm on the road. And you know, it's not hurting anything. I don't need to close it up right now, so it's just going to sit there, and hopefully the rubber falls into place. Now my fuel pump arrived from, bought that from AutoZone online, and it looks like it's the same one that goes down there, and I'm just wondering how hard it is to put in and if I'll be able to pull it off. So I'm going to give it a shot, see if I get it done before I finish packing for No Name Nationals. So the first thing I'm thinking as I'm looking down at this is, if I take that main fuel line off from the tank, is it going to start spilling gasoline until the tank empties, or until I stick something in there and plug it shut? So I'm curious about that. And then underneath that oil canister is where the other connection is. I don't know if you can see it, but it's going to be tight getting in there. But I probably should have thought of that before I put the oil canister on. All right, give it a shot. I'm going to start with the main fuel line from the tank. If that leaks, or if I can't stop it from flowing, then I got to come up with something else. But let's see if it comes out. It's probably the easiest one to get at too. Could be just that whole line could be full of air since the pump stopped working. So you never know. I might get lucky. You know, I'm curious about is this adapter going to fit in the new fuel pump? It's the same thread. It looks like it is. I'm not even going to mess with it. Yes, I am. Alright, let me crawl into this truck and see if I can get the other one off. See how that goes. Now that I'm crawling around under the truck, I'll put some light on it. See, a lot of oil under here. This truck is probably leaking oil in 2 or 3 different places that I could tell. Oh, I'm missing a bolt right there. That's interesting. Ay, ay, ay. This is probably stuff I should have taken care of when I had the motor out. And then when I had the clip off. But I can always take the clip off again, whatever. But I think what I'm going to do is shut the camera off and see if I can disconnect that stuff, because I got to crawl in underneath where the camera is. So there it is. Fuel pump's installed. Truck started up, but there's some kind of drip. It smells like gasoline. I can't figure out where it's coming from. Now the gasket on the fuel pump itself, the housing, not the one that goes to the block, is wet. But I don't know if that's from maybe getting sprayed from someplace. The connections in and out look pretty solid. They're dry, I guess is the better word. They're both dry. They don't seem to be leaking. So I don't know where that fuel is coming from. But I've run it, and I'm trying to watch it while it's running. It runs for about, I want to say about a minute and a half before it shuts off. So by the time I walk over here, get the flashlight, start poking around, it stops idling and shuts off. But at least it's running, so that's a win. But I got to figure this out. If it's a bad fuel pump right from the factory, you know, shame on me for buying the cheapest one on the internet. But I did look at the ammeter while I had the truck running. It's going in the wrong direction, so I think I got to just flip the wires over around and back there. So it's a little more time on my back, but at least it seems to be charging.